Well, before I do anything, better get it written down.
Well, okay, then I'll give you my idea verbally first.
What do they call it? You know how they do it in...
Oh, I wonder why I'm beeping. I had a loud beep there for a while. So, but I'll give it to you verbally, and you can tell me what you think, and we can go by feel from there. I haven't got it all together formulated, but here's what I was thinking. Is right now there's a degree of difficulty, but I have to one extent or another 5 houses in Ocean Falls.
Yeah, this could well run in with it, because like we're talking about, originally one time we were talking about International Village, eh?
Right.
Like all races, all color. Eh?
Yes.
And that's what that little logo is. It's getting out of this rat race, I guess you could call it. Like the story of the Gilwa, I told you a little bit about it one time. There's four Gilwas, which represents all the races, eh? And the white man will paddle his own, the Indians will paddle his own, and nobody can tell the other what to do, eh? Because none of us are any good, humanly speaking. But spiritually, if we go back to the origins of this earth, eh? How this earth was created.
Right.
And then push away, like the Gilwas are facing away from the earth, which is to push away from this materialistic world that we're living in, eh?
Mm-hmm.
But we need a land base, as the Indians say, eh?
Right.
You know, we don't have nothing to work with. Like we could help solve some of the problems this land has, eh? I mean, this system that we're living under.
Right.
Right now. Instead of always being critical, here's an answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's what our council always says too, is that, you know, to have a constructive criticism, you know, something that's positive and an answer
Right.
to the whole thing. And Gilwa could be part of it, eh? The Gilwa expedition.
Mm-hmm.
Like the man is alone in his canoe, like we could call our bodies canoe, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And the woman is alone. Like you can't go up and stand before God and be a lawyer, eh? My wife is good, eh? Or, you know, whatever. That woman and that man will be by themselves when they confront God. That's the way it is in this earth here. We do it by ourselves, but together as a community, eh? Like,
You're right. I agree.
so like we could write a, what do you call it, what are those big time script, eh? We need a script
Right. Right.
to follow, and then take pictures.
Yeah.
You know, like go to the different, like the history of the coast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we're all one big family, one tree. Eh? We all come from the northwest, and we're one family. Like in the beginning, the way our history goes is that originally there was only 2 real forces,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the Tlingit and the Heiltsuk. Those are the 2 oldest cultures on the coast, eh? And that's just a little bit of history, and everybody's connected, you know, like whether it be through war, marriage, or, you know, like we're all connected, and that's how the roots spread out over the country, eh? So that's what I would like to do, rather than just shoot any old thing, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, follow a plan.
Yeah.
You know, and make sure that we get the right shot and the, you know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
That's I tried to write it down so many times, eh? Like I had a script, and I was writing the story of creation, like how our people told the story of creation.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be like, it'd be better than writing.
Yes.
A proposal. Okay, here's our plan. Here, take a look at it and see what you think.
Right. When we were out on the boat, I was looking at the country with the camera, and I thought about showing this later on TV, and I thought I would put some traditional music from the people here with this video, and then show the people who are within the village here and what they're saying about what's happening and relate it to the environment we're living in. You know, I thought it would be a really good film to do. So when I was coming back, I thought, well, get some filming now, like start taking lots of pictures, because like with this, we can edit it later and say, okay, that's what I like in there, put that in there, and you edit it down. And what I could do is I would like to do it so, like this part of it I can do. I got another friend that's good with filming and this. And it may just serve to make a larger proposal for like better cameras and better people, but we can get the idea on film and we can show that to somebody, like with you talking, you know, about what you see and how we can solve it, how we can resolve, you know, the difficulties.
I don't think we'll solve it, we'll just take it one step at a time, eh?
That's the way.
If we do it too fast, it could blow up in our face, eh?
I was asking Edward out there about, you know, the management of the resources, and I said, do you trust your band council to be able to make a difference? And he said, well, I don't know. We need lots of help, right? We need people to work together on it, and the band council can't do it by themselves unless the people are prepared to, you know, create that example of good management. And they need the opportunity to do that with help, not just dumped on them as a problem, settle all our mistakes, you know. So it was.
Yeah,
He said it a lot better.
there's all kinds of avenues, though. There's many doors, and you have to pick the right ones.
Yeah, well, we think we picked the right one here. You know, like,
Another one that would be really interested in doing is the story of the blue jay and the mink. That would be
what's that?
Just to shorten what this story is about. Blue jay, there's two little kids playing bow and arrow, eh?
Can I turn off this radio?
Yeah.
How do I turn that off?
Tell them to head up. Talk to them.
Sorry. You're picking up after?
Yeah, it's just a story, it's a spirit story is what it is. Spiritual. Blue jay and mink were playing around, you know how kids like to play. In my age, when we were kids, we used to play cowboys and Indians because that was what was going on, eh? Well, in these guys' days, it was bow and arrow. They were shooting at each other with them. And mink hit blue jay. And blue jay got mad and called him, you're the one that's got no father, eh? That, you know, really mean little mink, eh? So mink went home crying to his mother. He said, blue jay said, I got no father. And the mother said, oh, you don't have to worry. Your father is you got the only father that can walk across the sky in one day. He said, who's that? The sun. He said, I want to go and see my father. And he just kept on, you know how kids are, eh? Once they get an idea, they don't stop. So finally she broke down and told him how to get there, and said, you have to go and see Archer. And went and found Archer, and then he shot 4 arrows into the sky, and each one hit the knock going up into the sky. The last thing that he had was his bow, so he put that there. And he said, now you can go up and see your father. started climbing. When he got up to the top, there was, you know, the houses looked like the big houses that of that present day. And the people seen him, and he said, "Who do you want to see?" And he said, "I want to see my father." So he went to see his father and looked at all the regalia that he had. And he said, "Could I try your regalia on and do what you do?" And the father said, "Okay, but you have to be real careful. Don't walk too fast. You have to walk real slow across the sky." Because he said, if you walk too fast, the people on earth will burn, and everything on the earth will burn. And that's like a parable for this day and age, because of the way things are moving too fast, and the ozone is being depleted because of this moving too fast. So that if we slow down a little bit more, like, we don't need millions and millions of dollars in the bank. Those don't do anything for anybody, except for the one person that keeps it there. And that's we could use that, do a little play, a little skit on that particular story.
Yeah, that's beauty.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
And it's true, eh? Like, we're moving too fast. The society is moving too fast, way too fast, and things are being destroyed.
Yeah.
Because they're not considering the effects of it 20 years down the road or whatever, eh?
Right. I'd heard recently that the natives traditionally thought for 7 generations.
So that's something that should be considered anyway. So we could do little things like that, eh?
Mm-hmm. Right now, like I know, like what I'm looking at, like this camera, like I have an ability right now, just with the footage that I'm shooting here, to put this out over the community channel.
Mm-hmm.
And so the community, you know, could, you know, share in that idea for telling these stories. Mm-hmm. And there would be more stories which you know, gave messages, and different people would be, you know, saying things. Mm-hmm. But I could do this here, like when you're talking, mm-hmm, I can put visual images behind what you're saying. So when you're talking about the, mm-hmm, society going too fast, I can show pictures.
Find some car wrecks,
yeah,
boat wrecks,
yeah,
mining accidents, boating accidents.
It goes on. That's it would be easy to do. Just, you know, if I focused on the headlines of the newspapers, I'd have all the visuals, mm-hmm, of what was of that society which was burning up. You know,
because this society, this particular society, is a man-eating society. Every day there's millions and thousands of people dying because of their lifestyle.
Right.
People dying in the mines, people dying in the fishing industry, the logging industry. Those eat people up.
But the worst death might be the one of hope. You know, where people are giving up now on what's happening, because it seems
Europe
like
for you. Europe's a little bit older in this industrial age than we are. So I mean, the people still tell a story. The earth tells the story of what humanity is doing to itself. Eh? Like I always said, that it's like an eagle destroying its own nest, tearing it apart, bit by bit. But it started in the old country, as they say. North America just speeded things up with all their inventions, and they never ever give God the credit. They say we found it by accident, just like we found North America by accident. It was no accident. God had his hand in there.
Yeah.
You know, like he knew everything, he knows everything. And he's the only thing that's good, as far as I'm concerned anyway.
Yeah, that's my concern too, is now with that, and saying to myself that what the man, you know, like what in this system I own was forced on me by their system, and I said I don't really own it anyway. It's tied up in all this silly deals and debts and all this bullshit, mm-hmm, and we're not free with it, you know. Like it's just it pushes you back into that system and says go, and you know you have to buy and sell some more to survive. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And today when I was coming back, I thought we were thinking about the treatment center which you were talking about, mm-hmm, and saying that we already have 5 houses, mm-hmm, to start with in Ocean Falls. If we had the co-op, we could have workshops, we could have a bottling plant, we could have a whole bunch of work things for people to be doing while they're going through this treatment. And it would be a good thing, so we could do a good proposal up.
And expand with the people that we take in.
Yeah, right. They'd be part of, they'd all be friends, right?
They'd start up one treatment center in their own community and work together.
Right. But to create that example, to be part of that is like, what everybody that I'm coming up here with and send up here is here to kind of help and try and rebuild that trust between people. Like to me, that's where the hope is that if we can work together, then what advantages I have paddling my canoe, I can add to, the whatever it is we're really here to do. But do it right. Try and do it properly with God in control. I'm not in control.
If you look at the whole world in general, they're all the same. Just the approach is a little different.
Yeah.
Like the Japanese, the Chinese, the Indians, Africa, England, all these places, they're all the same. Just different. And they all like to have a really good image.
Yeah. So. Yeah, everybody wants to look good.
Everybody looks good to the world. Hey, it looks like heaven on earth. But when you look into the real world, people that are what we call sheep, there are sheep and goats on this world. Goats are the ones that take everything, and sheep are pushed. And majority of the people are like sheep. They'll do whatever the government says, and they'll pay. And so they take advantage of this. And that's going to change. I believe that's going to change. Not according to man, but the way God made it.
I think it has to.
Everything has a time frame. Even our very life has a time frame. We're only allotted so many hours on this earth and then we're gone. And what we do, it's going to make the difference between our stand, between man and God. I think anyway.
Yeah, good thoughts. And good thoughts. Never got anybody into trouble, that path.
But when you start doing good, people will hate you for it. It's the way it is.
Yeah.
Human nature. As long as you're part of the group, you're in with the in crowd.
Yeah,
When you start to say things like, you're destroying the land, you're destroying the fish, you're destroying God's creation, people will hate you for it because they say you're taking their jobs away. But they're not. People are holding the money in their bank account, and that's the only balance that they got is their bank.
Yeah, that's their control.
Keeping the balance in their account.
Yeah.
Sad story of humanity. That's another story right there. How the light was stolen. Like we could tell the story of our North American culture before contact with the Europeans. How the ravens stole the light. And everything that was good on this land has been destroyed. You used to be able to go to the river and get your own fish, get your own clams. Now today you have to go and get a permit just to stay alive.
Yeah, it's not a very good situation.
I think the wolves and the bears and the animal kingdom have more rights than the humans. And the human activists, animal activists, I think they're a little bit lopsided too.
Yeah.
Because they're caught up in the same web. Just a story of how we lost the light, how the light was stolen from us. I guess that light is hope. Okay?
Yeah, I would say so. Let's hope so.
It's been rapidly depleted, that hope.
Yeah.
Every day it's lost. People are committing suicide because of this.
Yeah. Almost en masse now, that people are praying to die. Yeah. I mean, at least they're worshiping that their own destruction. You know, a lot of people I meet say the earth would be better off without humans, and then I say, well, what was the purpose for humans then if we never learned to get together with the earth? We lost our purpose. This is a commercial break of Granny Maggie's Bakery.
Man shall not live by bread alone.